Hello and welcome to English Hoot. I'm your host, Lily.
And I'm Sam. It's so good to be here with you all. How are you today, Lily?
I am great, Sam. But this morning I had a funny thought. I wanted to make coffee, but my brain was still sleeping. So I looked at the coffee machine and I said, "Hello, Mr. Coffee Machine. Please give me hot brown water."
Hot brown water? That's a new name for coffee. Did the machine understand you?
No, it did not. My brain was translating words from my first language. It was very slow and very strange. This happens a lot when we learn English, right?
Oh, yes, it happens to me too. Thinking in English is not easy at first. So our topic today is perfect. We will talk about how I stopped translating and started thinking in English.
That's a big change. Let's start at the beginning. Sam, do you remember your early days learning English?
Of course I remember. It was like a sport. Mental gymnastics. Someone asked me, "Sam, how are you?" My brain worked very fast. First, I heard the words, then I translated them to my language, then I thought of an answer in my language, then I translated the answer to English. Finally, I said, "I am fine. Thank you." There was a long, awkward pause.
Yes, the awkward pause. I know it well. And speaking English for a long time was so tiring. After 1 hour of class, my brain needed a long nap.
A very long nap, and sometimes the translation was wrong. I have a funny story. One time I was at a supermarket. I wanted to buy cream for my coffee. I saw a carton. It said half and half. My brain translated it word for word. I thought, half milk and half... What? This is a strange name. So I asked a woman, "Excuse me, where is the cream?" She looked at the carton in my hand and smiled. She said, "That is cream for coffee." I was so embarrassed.
Oh no. But you learned something new that day. Half and half is a common name for cream in English. Sometimes our mistakes teach us the best lessons.
That is very true. So we have the early struggles, the awkward pauses, the mental gymnastics, the tired brain, and the funny mistakes.
But then something changes. There is a pivot point, a special moment when you start thinking in English.
Yes, for me it was a dream. One night I had a dream, and in my dream everyone was speaking English. And I was speaking English. I wasn't translating. I was just thinking and talking. When I woke up, I was so surprised.
A dream in English. That is a fantastic aha moment. It's like your brain said, "Okay, we live in English now." For me, the change was more quiet. I was talking to my friend about my weekend, and I realized something. I wasn't searching for words. The words were just there. There was less effort, more flow.
Less effort, more flow. I like that. It feels so good. You are not fighting with your brain. You are friends with English. You also start to feel things in English. You hear a sad song in English, and you feel sad. You don't translate the words to feel the emotion.
Exactly. You develop a real emotional connection with the language. It stops being just a school subject. It becomes a part of you.
So, how can we help our brains make this change faster? How can we hack our brains?
That is a great question for our listeners. Okay, everyone, we have a question for you. Think about your own English journey. What is one small, funny mistake you made in English that actually helped you learn? Please tell us in the comments below this video. We love reading your stories.
Yes, please share your stories. It helps everyone feel less alone. We all make mistakes, and that's how we learn.
So, let's talk about hacking your brain. How can you accelerate the shift from translating to thinking in English?
So, Sam, how can we hack our brains to think in English faster? Do we need to move to another country?
No, you don't need to travel. Immersion is not just about travel. You can create a language bubble right at home. My apartment became my little English world.
A language bubble. I love that. What was inside your bubble?
Many simple things. I changed the language on my phone to English. So I saw settings and messages every day. I put small sticky notes on things in my house. My table had a note that said table. My window said window. It looked a little silly, but it worked.
That is a wonderful idea. It helps you connect the word directly to the object, not to the word in your first language. I listen to English music all the time. I didn't always understand every word, but I got used to the sound and the rhythm of the language.
Yes, and that leads to another hack, active listening. It's more than just understanding the words.
Can you explain that, Sam? What is active listening?
Sure, it's when you listen not just for meaning, but for the music of the language. You listen to how people connect words. For example, what are you going to do often sounds like, what you gonna do? You listen for the small words they use, like well, so, or you know.
Ah, I see. You focus on the natural flow. I started watching short cartoon clips for children. The language is very simple and clear. I repeated short sentences after the characters. This is called shadow speaking. It feels a bit like being a parrot, but it's very helpful.
Hey, Polly wants a cracker, and Polly wants to speak English. See, it's fun. Another powerful tool is a thought journal.
A thought journal? That sounds difficult.
It doesn't have to be. It can be very messy. The goal is not perfect grammar. The goal is to think directly in English. So every day, I wrote 3 sentences in a notebook. They were simple thoughts, like, today, the weather is nice. I feel happy. I want to eat pizza for dinner.
Oh, that's not scary at all. You were just catching your simple daily thoughts in English. You are not translating a big idea. You're thinking it directly in English from the start. That is a fantastic habit.
Exactly. It trains your brain to use English for small, everyday things. And small things become big things over time.
So we have our brain hacks. Create a language bubble at home. Practice active listening for the natural flow. Do shadow speaking, and keep a simple, messy thought journal.
And when you do these things consistently, something amazing happens. You start to feel a sense of freedom. The language is not a wall anymore, it's a door.
Let's talk about that freedom. What is it like when you go beyond the words? So, Sam, what is this freedom like? What changes when you move beyond just words?
It's hard to describe, but it's wonderful. For example, you can express complex feelings. One day, I was telling a story and I made a joke in English, and people laughed. I didn't plan the joke in my first language, it just happened. The humor came directly from my English brain.
That's amazing. No internal filter, no translation. The thought and the English words happened together. I also felt a difference in understanding culture. I finally understood why people in movies said, break a leg for good luck. It's not a strange thing to say, it's a cultural subtlety.
Yes, and that helps you build deeper connections with people. You understand more than just their words. You understand a little bit of their world. This whole journey gave me a confidence boost, not just in English, but in life. If I can learn to think in another language, I can do other hard things too.
That is so true. Learning a language makes you stronger. Okay, so our listeners are probably thinking, this sounds great. How do I start my journey? What are your best actionable steps, Sam?
Start small, but be consistent. Here are my top tips. First, try shadow speaking for 5 minutes a day. Listen to a short, simple sentence from a podcast or cartoon and repeat it immediately, like an echo.
I love that. Second, talk to yourself in English. When you are alone, just describe what you are doing. I am making coffee. I am walking to the bus stop. It feels silly, but it works.
I do that all the time. My cat probably thinks I'm strange. Third, use your thought journal. Write 3 simple sentences every day about your feelings or your plans. Don't worry about mistakes.
Perfect. And fourth, challenge yourself with small abstract concepts. Don't just name objects. Try to think, what is happy? Or why is the sky beautiful? In simple English. This pushes your brain to think, not just name things.
But what about plateaus? Sometimes you feel like you are not learning anything new.
That's normal. When you hit a plateau, don't stop. Change your activity. If you always watch movies, try listening to a song. If you always read news, try reading a children's story. Give your brain a new kind of fun.
And most importantly, embrace your imperfections. Your English doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be yours. The goal is connection, not perfection.
Well said, Sam. The future is about global communication. And by learning to think in English, you are finding your place in that exciting, connected world. Your journey starts with one small thought, one small sentence.
So, to our wonderful listeners, your homework is to try one of these steps today. Just one. Talk to your pet in English. Write one sentence in a journal. Sing one English song loudly.
And we want to hear from you. Remember, our question is, what is one small, funny mistake you made in English that actually helped you learn? Share your story in the comments below. Let's learn and laugh together.
Thank you for joining us on English Hoot. Keep practicing, keep making mistakes, and keep growing.
Yes, keep thinking in English, one small step at a time. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.